been a while for me, longer than I would have liked, but here we are. 1 second, though. Okay, so the mic is picking me up. So where are we? Alright, we're here. Yeah, let's see, I was meaning to record yesterday, but I did Warframe's recording yesterday for me. Had fun with Whispers in the Walls. I played it a bit more after I got done recording. I only played for a little bit, and then I saw that the new Pokemon DLC was out, which I waited until after dinner to play that. And I'm only 4 hours in, and I have done absolutely nothing in the DLC other than catch Pokemon. Edgar, my, what a pleasant surprise. If you've come to inquire about the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal ether. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we could go with you to the first and help. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Edgar, it has been far too long, my friend. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garlean ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Eldin, offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Yes, I heard stories of a defector from Garlemald, but never mind that. You said you have urgent news. Indeed, as you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Garlean forces have been recalled from the Commit Dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. And in there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claimed that this de-escalation may belly growing danger and unforeseen threats. Commander Eldin has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished to extend this invitation. It would seem time is of the essence. Well, you'll not be attending this meeting alone, though. I am not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades. I see no reason to burden a single Scion with all this. Yes, of course, then we must make for the Alamegan quarter with all haste. What are you waiting for? Get going, you two. Back to get up on ya. Playing so many different games, I have to get used to which the sensitivity for each one for the controller. Much has changed since the first time we set foot in the city. Now we strive to preserve their freedom rather than reclaim it. But we've no time to reminisce. We must keep the commander waiting. Commander Aldin awaits us in the royal palace. If you would follow me. Lead the way, fancy pants man.
They're here, Commander.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the Scions spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury.
Imagine a world of purple instead of green.
I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea. Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but. And upon further investigation, I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed. Few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea. We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon, and emerged victorious. We need you. And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
Oh, time to do that optional quest line. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day, the plight of the Scions grow ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the ultimate weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. Edgar, glad you could make it. As you may have heard, Commander Aldin has given an order to embark from Alliance headquarters to hold back the advance of the Empire's latest menace. Now that the soldiers stationed there are too chuffed about being on the front lines against these new weapons, if they are designed to slay primals, they make short work of us mere mortals as well. Mind you, it's Gaius Belzar and his followers who lead the charge so far. By all accounts, they've been given as good as they get. Unfortunately, their sortie has met with little success. I dare say they benefit greatly from your presence on the battlefield. If you're ready, my colleague over at Porta Praetoria will show you the way. Where that? On the other side of the map. Let's do this, because this was going to be the side quest I talked about earlier that I was going to do. To be honest, we weren't sure if you ever show up. I, for one, am glad you decided to throw in your lot with us. Guys, as you are our best hope of defeating that abomination. We've seen only a glimpse of its true power. Even that was more than enough for us. So, your mind is set. Then I shall praise you of the situation. We have discovered that the previous Albanian Ultima weapon project is being helmed by the reformed 7th Legion. They have already succeeded in producing several prototypes, one of which is set to be deployed on the Eorzean front. It's named the Ruby Weapon. Severa and I were able to get within striking distance during one of his tests. Runs and made an attempt to destroy it. An attempt that ended in failure. Alas, based on our knowledge of the original Ultima weapon, the explosives we employed should have been sufficient to blast through its armor plating, but they barely left a mark. We suspect the gifts of its predecessor may have proven the source of its resilience. As you well know, the Ultimate weapon was designed to absorb ether from icons, and the Ruby weapon no doubt shares that ability. If any were summoned during the uprising in Garlemald's occupied territories and thereafter consumed, our enemy would become all the more formidable. But its near impregnable armor was only the beginning of our troubles. It fought back with whip-like claws and can be extended and contracted at will. In the face of such opposition, we were forced to withdraw. Gaius was injured, shielding me from the Ruby weapon's assault. Even now, he struggles to stand. Damn it all, if I hadn't been so careless, this wouldn't have happened. You need not concern yourself. Let us not forget that I am the one who initiated the Ultimate Weapon project. If I must give my life to bury this shameful legacy, then so be it. If you were to face it as you are now, you'd be cut down before you even hobbled into firing distance. In any case, we can't afford to lose the information in your head on both the foe we face and the Empire itself. We all know that asking for Edgar's assistance presents our best chance of stopping the war, Machina. It's true that if anyone were capable of putting down such a monstrosity, it would be him. Though I have no right to ask this of you, will you lend us your strength? You have my thanks. And mine, though I must impress upon you the urgency of our situation. We have received word that the Empire is preparing to advance on the Milt Dark. That is where we will intercept them. If our fears are proven correct, the Ruby weapon will be among their hosts. Should it break through our lines, and there is no telling the devastation it will wreak. Make no mistake, the very survival of Eorzea hangs in the balance. Once you have steeled yourself for the battle ahead, your escort will lead the way. What price must the world pay for my hubris? Short while earlier in Los Angeles, commencing Ruby weapon activation sequence. All units stand by. Initiating Aetheryte system. Fusion successful. No signs of incompatibility. Awaiting your signal. Ruby weapon code name Darnus, ready for launch. Point of contact with the Ruby weapon. Once we arrive, the rest is up to you, I'm afraid. Wait time 22 minutes. Oh, I guess I'll find somewhere to sit down, and then I'll pause it, and then I'll unpause it when the thing pops. Well, I guess we're not going to be doing this. I was really hoping that we were going to be able to do this quest line, but by the looks of it, game. Well, let's get back to what we were doing, since it seems that that quest line isn't working. Well, it isn't going to be working for us. I was hoping to actually do that quest line, but there's only so much time in the day. I take it you're ready to return to the first. Then I would ask that you apprise the others of recent events here and the source, namely Xenos' return and the development of a new Ultima weapon. As for their bodies, you may assure them Master Batoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal ether stable. Safe travels, Edgar. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. Anyway, that quest line would have been like the quest line we did already that in Stormblood with the aspects or aspects, however you call them. That would have been how it would have gone. But with Ultima weapons, well, with weapons instead of instead of see, instead of aspects, it would have been Ultima weapons. I don't know why, but during that, it kind of reminded me of some funny glitch that happened in what was it? And Pokemon, the Indigo Disc DLC. For a little bit I played of it. There was a Dodrio, and there's like a little watery place. And all you could see of it was its head, because it was, the rest of it was in the ground. And it kind of looked like it was slowly sinking into the ground, drowning. And I was battling someone, and I just saw that in the background. And then when it was over, all I could see was these little feathers sticking out of the ground, and eventually those disappeared as well. It was like, are we sure this place is safe for the Pokemon? One quick sec. Sorry about that, I just had to check on the upload, so. Come at a most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul, and a means to return the Scions home. I trust you two have been making good use of your time. No, we haven't. We've kind of just sat, waiting. Ill tidings from the source, you say? Then I will summon the others, and we might all be appraised of the situation. I'll be right back. I think I locked Pandora out by accident. I indeed left Pandora out by accident. I thought she was in the window, but no, she was on the other side of the door when I closed it. Good thing you're so loud, or I would have never heard you.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source? A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Beklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
Why are you looking at Edgar for that?
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
Indeed!
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Okay, we got... which one do we want? We'll take that. Okay, let's go to inventory. Oh. Okay. We still got bacon bread! All the way from... I actually think this might have been Realm Reborn. My memory. Oh man, I'm gonna pause real quick. Okay, now I'm back. I just had to get the 6th video up for the my Rogue Trader playthrough. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it will be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? May simply be my imagining, but Lena has been rather sick with me of late. You don't suppose she's still upset over that mishap with the salmon fillet, do you? Yes, Pandora? We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. A Sin Eater, I had heard some few yet remain after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call the others. That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater, a simple task for our guard, I should think. As said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they might seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Why not Alphino? We know why not Alphino. Excellent, then let us make for Fort Job. No, wrong button. I do that all the time. Randomly just jumping around when I'm just trying to fast travel. Oh, I have been in the background with my friends and stuff. I've been trying to figure out a way to get one of my friends to play this. So in the future, we might have at least one of our voices through the mic while we're playing. Wait a minute. You can't hide from me. See, they're up there. Take it. Okay, so Thancred's the one who's been teaching people how to play this. Oh, that was easier than I was expecting. There's currently a Pandora having the crazies running around. Yeah, you are. If you would wait here a moment, I will gather the others. Why one of you blue? You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at Death's Door the day after the Sun Eaters attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I would have likely stepped through. And I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sin Eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. And currently Pandora is filling my room with light. Yeah, you did. Now I have to fix the curtains because of you. It's also because of her I had to get up earlier today than I wanted to. Because she brought one of her toys into the bed. That is not no way to honor her than my comrades. Until I have returned, I swear, and I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Truly, it seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride an Amaru to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think the Yomoran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side, but we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. We seem to be missing one. My apology, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked I escort him to clear Melt. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. It won't happen again. The name's Thaler. I'm sure you don't remember, but we met once before in the infirmary. I actually delivered a message to the XR and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up, don't give in. I kept those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know. And so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up. We won't give in. Heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging post not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let's not keep them waiting. Pandora does the things she always does. Okay, let's see if we can get this quest done before the timer goes out. Where are we going? North. Well, I guess with Edgar, I'll see what happens if you haven't done the Ruby quest, because I didn't. I did the fight with my own character. So at least this one's going to be interesting to see how things go forward. If I hadn't seen him with my own eyes, I have sworn it was you who killed the Sin Eater.
Did you slay this Eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself? Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, "Who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?" And he says, "No, I'm a warrior of light." And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
That's right, I'm like, oh, do we have to?
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
Oh, pff.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating.
That seems like something I would actually do. Considering that I've poured milk on my food and I try to drink salt, so I'm not one that's much better at this point. I mean, just yesterday I tried to use an empty can to fill a glass, and I threw away a full can. And then what was it, the other thing I did? I think I also just poured out the cup entirely after that.
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
He's lost without you, you know, and he misses you already.
Is that so? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Yeah, let's just call it there for the episode. Well, this episode wasn't as what I wanted it to be, because I really wanted to get to do the weapon trials today, but well, at least I'll get to experience something new. Till the next.